And I need him to be pushed. So now the field in the hands of Brad Keselowski. Can he get Roger Penske his first Brickyard 400? Green flag back in the air. Overtime, sponsored by Credit One Bank, is underway. Great restart for the 5 of Kasey Kahne. Can he hold it on the bottom of the track? Kahne gets by him. Smoke rolling out behind the 11. Kasey Kahne in front of the 2 of Brad Keselowski. They go down the backstretch. Still smoke coming out of the 11. He gets up the racetrack. And the 11 goes around. They wreck behind him. Did they get to the overtime line? They haven't got there yet. Has the caution come out yet? Now the caution comes out. The question will be, did the caution come out after he crossed the overtime line? A lot of damage to the 27 of Paul Menard. The 11 of Denny Hamlin. We saw smoke rolling out from underneath the 11. We're going to find out if there's the white flag. We just saw the white flag indicating that they did get to the overtime line before the caution came out. Waiting for an official word from NASCAR, but Keith Rodden looks like he's celebrating. A record 14th caution. Still waiting to hear the official word if they did get past the overtime line before the caution came out. If they did, it will be Kasey Kahne's first Brickyard 400 win. And we take a look at the overtime line. Kasey Kahne was there before the caution came out. Kasey Kahne will win the Brickyard 400.
On a great restart. Not a good restart, a great restart.
He said,
"That's how you do it, baby." Winner of the Brickyard 400.
And guess what? Another winner in 2017 that now has an opportunity in the playoffs. Kasey Kahne. So many question marks around what's going to happen in his career. Needing a win to get into the playoffs, and he gets it at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. This moment presented by Sunoco, fueling victories all season long. He will be taking the checkered flag.
Keep coming.
And there's the celebration.
You have to feel good for this team and Kasey Kahne. With all they've been through. I mean, Kasey Kahne has won 17 cup wins, 17 cup wins.
18 now. 18
now. And you have to feel good about this win.
A big, big win for Kasey Kahne. He wins the Brickyard 400. We'll hear from him next. Nearly 6 hours is how long it took for Kasey Kahne to get to this point where he could celebrate with the crowd.
6 hours, Rick, and 102 races. Not just winning the Brickyard 400, but breaking that long career winless drought and doing it against Brad Keselowski. Final restart. Entered that restart in second. As you mentioned, Jeff, got a great launch. Took the lead into turn one.
Every time you have to have maybe a little bit of luck on your side. And it was Keith Rodden calling him down to pit road. And he was on pit road to get the pit stop work done just as a wreck was happening behind him coming off of turn 4. So a little bit of luck there, but it was all skill on that restart when he was able to get by Brad Keselowski.
Yeah, felt like the restart before that wasn't fair. You heard him say it. He felt like Brad went before he did. He executed perfectly.
So the celebration has begun. And coming up next, it's going to be Sunday Night with Megan Kelly. That's right here on NBC. On NBCSN, make sure to tune in because you'll hear the Victory Lane celebration, the interview with Kasey Kahne, and 90 minutes of coverage. Again, that's on NBCSN. Congratulations to Kasey Kahne. 24 years, the Monster Energy Cup Series has raced at this iconic racetrack. And Kasey Kahne, so many questions about how long would he be with Hendrick Motorsports. Still a question, but this definitely helps the situation. Kasey Kahne wins, has a chance at a championship now. With that win, that will put him into the playoffs.
He showed tonight, if you put him in the position, he can win races. He just proved that. He beat a champion late in the race with a perfect restart. He can still win races in the right situation.
Rick, no one knows what type of momentum this could generate. Is this the difference? Is this the spark? Is this the light at the end of the tunnel that Kasey Kahne needed to find that magic he once had of winning multiple races in a year? You said he got a very fortunate break on pit road at lap 149, but then you have to take advantage of that break, and that's what Kasey Kahne and this 5 team did. It took multiple restarts, but he got it done.
And he rolls into victory lane. All smiles out of Kasey Kahne. You mentioned the athlete that Kasey Kahne is. He's going to need a quick drink as we go down to Marty.
This is going to be a celebration, Rick. A long time in the making for Kasey Kahne. Welcome back to Victory Lane. I'm not sure what's bigger, the win here at Indianapolis and winning at the Brickyard, or maybe the win for your career, Kasey.
The career is big for sure. The history here and to win at this track is unreal. We used to always be really close. Lost to Jeff, lost to Tony. Just such fast cars back then, and today the strategy got us here. And this Farmers Insurance Chevrolet was great once I got out front. I just had to get there. I'm exhausted. I'm drained. I don't have any fluids in me, but unbelievable win. The team just kept working. Great pit stops. Thanks to everybody at Hendrick Motorsports, Farmers Insurance, Quick Clips, Chevrolet has been huge to us, and yeah, to win it at Indy is unbelievable. I wish my son Tanner was here.
I got to ask you about that final restart. Jeff Burton called it not a good restart, a great restart. How did you pull off the pass on Brad Keselowski?
The one before just didn't work. Everything went wrong. Final one, everything went right. And once I got to turn one, I had good power and I was able to clear him off one. I'm exhausted, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. I wish my little boy was here. I'd make it all.
What's the emotion, Kasey, with all the talk going on about your career? What's the emotion when you finally get back to victory lane like this?
It feels good to win. You know, it feels good to, everybody, these people that work so hard, it feels good to get them in victory lane and show that we can do it if things go our way.
You can tell he's exhausted and cramping up. He had mentioned the cramping earlier. He needed some fluids, so no fluids in him, but obviously this is going to be a big celebration for Kasey Kahne. He and his sister Shannon moved here to Indianapolis, Rick, years ago to start his sprint car career. So this is going to be an emotional day and an emotional win for Kasey Kahne.
He referenced his son Tanner. Tanner just a year and a half old. Kasey Kahne's going to take some drinks. We've seen this so many times. The driver at the end of a race at Indianapolis sits down next to his car because he's so exhausted, so completely drained. It's been a long day. It was a warm day. Keith Rodden there helping him out, the winning crew chief. What a day it's been.
If this is, you work out, you train, but you don't have that emotional component. You can't put that in your training. And when you add that to this, the heat, it's very physically demanding. Then possibly his career is on the line, right? And so you add that physical component, the heat and all that, and the emotion. and this is what you get. I can remember Ricky Rudd having to sit down by his car. So many drivers, when the race is over, just exhausted, and a lot of it is emotion.
I'd said Tanner, his son, is a year and a half old. Tanner hasn't been alive. Tanner wasn't alive the last time that Kasey Kahne won a race. That's why he wants him here with him. And we take a look at the playoff standings after 20 races. You put Kasey Kahne's name in yellow, and on this list, Kasey Kahne now in the playoffs.
Rick, this win had huge ripples, you just heard, within Kasey Kahne's career, but it also made huge waves within the playoff standings. This was a driver who was on the outside, well on the outside, looking in. This win, as you mentioned, moved him in, moved that cut line down. Now Joey Logano is out. Clint Bowyer is out. Now there's only 4 spots available. 4 drivers at this point can get in on points, still with 6 more races to go before the playoffs are set. So there's no telling who else could win. This was a huge win for this entire playoff picture.
And look who those drivers are. Who you're going to drag 4 out of. Kyle Busch, Jamie McMurray. Jamie McMurray's won the Daytona 500, the Brickyard 400. Chase Elliott, one of the young up-and-coming superstars. Matt Kenseth, the former champion. Clint Bowyer, contender for championships. Joey Logano, contender for championships. I mean, these are the who's who of this sport. Somebody's not going to make the playoffs.
How big was this win? Look at the elation of Kasey Kahne in victory lane. We saw earlier Jimmy Johnson's name etched in the trophy. Well, now Kasey Kahne's name will be added to the Brickyard 400 trophy. Dave.
Brad's had a quick look at his race car. Where you were lined up there on the final restart, Brad, did you think it might be yours?
Yeah, I did. I'm not sure. Kasey, he did a heck of a job today. Drove a hell of a race, and that was I'm happy for him. But of course, I wanted it for my team in the Miller Lite Ford. I thought we were in the right spot. You'd seen, I think, all day where you get somebody on your outside in the corner, you got real loose. But he drove in there and he just stuck. And I don't know, probably got the wrong lane there or made the wrong call. I'm not so sure. But the double file restarts, the way they had the cars today, everybody was on edge there and then some. And I guess maybe I just guessed wrong the last one.
And you took what was called at the best, maybe a top 10 car today, and put it up front with a possibility to win.
Yeah, that's as much on the team as me with the strategy calls that Paul and everybody made with the Miller Lite Ford. So I felt like I was just holding on from there to make the most of the day. Well, Dave, I've known this man a long time. I can tell, I can sense the relief in you. If you're going to pick a first race to win, Brickyard 400 is not a bad one, Keith Rodden.
No, it's a great race to win. I mean, I'm just so proud of everybody on this Farmers Insurance Chevrolet team. They've worked so hard all year. Every week, at some point in the race, we're like the fastest car, and we never put it together. And this week, man, I just really got to credit our teammates, Chad Canales and everybody on the 48 team. We talked about what we're going to do. Like, we're not going to win from 14th, so we got to do something different. And we just caught the caution lucky and got out there. And then Kasey did a just incredible job getting those restarts done. It reminded me so much of Sonoma in 2009 when he did that and held everyone off. And obviously our car is plenty fast. We just have to get that track position. So next week, Pocono, we're going to qualify better, like we always say. But, it's so much fun to win with these guys and to win for everyone at Team Hendrick. So really proud of everybody.
You and Kasey have been through so much when you were his engineer and you guys were winning races through the recent slumps. How proud are you for him that this has happened today?
Oh, I'm incredibly proud of him and so happy for him and that he could figure out how to get it done when he wasn't the control car. And everybody kind of bags on some of our guys in their restarts, but he had an incredible restart. And then just to drive through the speedy dry, a little bit of oil maybe, and clear Brad like that. I mean, just can't say enough about it. It was just a great, great effort by Kasey all day and everyone on our team.
You got a date with some bricks right over there.
Yes, I do. I can't wait to kiss the bricks.
All right, Keith Rodden, Kasey Kahne, this entire team get to go kiss a little bricks, Rick.
That tradition was started by Hall of Famer Dale Jarrett. And so the team has made their way to the bricks. We're going to hand it off to Krista, Kyle, and that tradition starter, Dale Jarrett.
Thank you, Rick. Yeah, look what he started. The crew ready for that kiss. A race that lasted over 6 hours. Keith Rodden just leaving victory lane now, walking behind us. Fist pump still going as he makes his way over to his team. The kissing of the bricks, the tradition for the Brickyard winner. And this race